I look up to the descending staircase that comes in into the patio, and I was like, that's fucking Diana Ross. That is Diana Ross.
So welcome, CMAT, to the allotment.
Hi.
Hi. Have you ever been to an allotment before?
Yes, I have been to an allotment. I've never had my own allotment. So I just used to grow beans out of red stripe cans on my windowsill instead. Would
Nice.
recommend. It was pretty good.
What kind of beans are we talking?
Like peas, like beans and peas.
Nice.
So I was able to start them on pretty well because the red stripe can is quite long, and so you can kind of get a good bit of them going before you have to like plant them, and they're like, yeah. So I
Great.
used to do that in my windowsill in my little bedsit flat in Charlton.
It
So-
sounds semi-idyllic.
Yeah, I guess.
So today, I've already said to you, I'm upset that this is the only thing that we need to do, because it feels you're the only Irish guest of the season, and it feels terrible to say that we're going to dig potatoes.
It's a bit awful, I'm not going to lie. There will be like side-eye emojis when I post this. It'll be like, why are you engaging in this paddy-whackery CMAT? Because I mean, they're just good. Like,
I mean,
it's
they're
not a
good.
bad- it's not a bad stereotype to have that Irish people love potatoes because they are absolutely class.
Yeah,
It's just a shame about the whole famine what you lot caused, I guess.
Yeah,
You know, all them years ago. But look, we're here now, mending the hands across communities. You know, we're doing it. And honestly, I love a spud.
I love a spud, and I have to say, it is my favourite thing to do on the allotment.
Why don't you do the first one?
Okay, so basically the technique is you put the fork in, get it nice under the, don't worry about the plant, you can mess it up.
Yeah.
Get it nice under the plant, and then lever it a bit on one side. Go round to the other, do the same thing, fork nice and in, lever it a bit. So you're just loosening the plant.
Yeah.
Because the aim is, I want to lift the plant up with the potato still attached.
Yeah.
So that we have to do less like digging in the ground.
Oh, little baby potatoes.
Let's give a shake. Pretty small.
That's actually not an amazing yield, I would say, respectfully.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay, these are the tiny ones.
I was thinking that they weren't very tall, but if they're baby potatoes, maybe they're not supposed to be.
Basically, I planted them a bit late. So,
because like my granddad's, like the potato plant would be like here, would be like hip height.
Fucking hell.
But they would be the big ones, they'd be like roosters and stuff.
Yeah, these are like, they're meant to be small, but
Yeah.
they're not. This is bad potatoes. I'm bringing shame on.
Uh-oh,
Yeah,
it's happening again. Hope they're not blighted.
Okay, I'll dig one, then you dig one.
Okay, well I dig this one.
Yeah, you dig this one. I'm just gonna keep
Okay.
going through the earth in case there's like a few more. But I'm not feeling very hopeful, I have to say. See if you get any better ones. Maybe we just sit down and relax. There is one other thing that we could do.
What if I get really good potatoes and you get really bad potatoes and it's like revenge? Do you know what I mean? Not to keep bringing it up. It's just very funny. Respectfully, it's extremely funny.
I'm glad that you're seeing the funny side. I was like, fucking hell, this is so bad.
Could you imagine?
CMAT, can you do two things at once? Can
Yeah.
you talk and also dig?
Yeah, of course I can.
Okay,
I'm a woman. I can multitask.
Can you tell me what you've been up to recently?
Recently, I've really just been festival seasoning. So every year that you do festival season as an artist, you kind of have to do different territories every 2 to 3 years, if you know what I mean. So you can't do the same festivals every year.
Right.
So this year, we've really been in like mainland Europe,
Oh, yeah.
like very much so. So this weekend gone, we were in Prague and then we were in Duisburg in Germany.
So you're in mainland Europe. Are you enjoying playing live a lot?
Yes, I am. I mean, I really like the shows. Like I feel like the specialty of the CMAT enterprise is the live show and
Yeah.
kind of always has been since day one. So getting to bring the show to like people in Duisburg in Germany who haven't got a clue who we are was quite an amazing experience, because like the first song you just saw a lot of people like staring at us very open-eyed and being like, what is this? What's happening? Why is there so many gay people on stage? What's happening? And then by the third song in, they just all got it. And by the end, it was like we were in fucking Nebworth or something. And it's like, it's really amazing when you like win people over. And I've been doing a lot of that this year, like people who haven't got a breeze who we are, but we're now like 3.5 years into constant touring. So we're like all amazing at it. And the band is like the best band I've ever had, I think.
Oh, wow.
So it's just like, I think it's going really well. Having quite a euphoric time. And I don't think there's any spuds in there.
I don't think so either.
I'm very sorry.
How are you finding being famous?
I quite like it.
Do you?
Just being honest.
Do you?
I quite like it. Well, because you know, I think everybody has a different job in music, right? Everybody has a different job in what they want to do. My job is songwriter.
Yeah.
And as a songwriter, the thing I'm most interested in is people. And people are always my number one subject, and people will always be, and like studying people and doing character studies and like trying to figure out why people are depressed or why people are mistreating people or why people are terrible to their kids, blah, blah, blah. These have always been like my number one topics. So now I'm in a position as a slightly famous person with a very niche cult fan base where like I meet people and I have an instant shorthand with them.
I mean, I don't know what it's like to be famous, but I would never have thought of that element to it, that people, because they already know who you are, people are more comfortable with you perhaps, and a bit more, they've got an idea of you.
One of my favourite examples is like, I do these in-stores around the time of album release.
Yeah.
Where I basically do, this is giving,
It's
this
better.
is giving,
It's
this
better.
is a lot better.
Thank God. You can chuck them in the bucket.
Hang on, let's go.
That's better, there's way more.
Yeah.
And bigger.
All right.
Thank God.
That's way better.
Maybe we'll just cut the beginning bit. Look at them.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Big boys. See, I knew we would have.
You knew that
bountiful
part was going to be
harvest.
better. That one's the original one.
Yeah. Da-da-da-dun.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
That's better.
These little baby ones. Wow.
Check it.
Oops.
Yeah, you were saying your favourite example of this, of people telling you.
There was a girl at my in-store signing in Rough Trade, and I'm sitting there for basically 4 hours while I meet 200 people that like want me to sign their album and want to talk to me. And the problem is that I am very interested in other people, and I'm genuinely very interested in every single person that would possibly buy my album, because I'm like, why? Because I think that's important information. But my manager and obviously the people who run in-stores are like, CMAT, we need to go home. Like, we need to go home. But there's this one girl who, she came up and there was no like, oh my God, I love you. Da, 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 da. She's like, CMAT, I have something really, really important that I have to tell you. And I was like, what is it? And she was like, I had sex in the same bed as Princess Diana. And I was like, cool, just sit down, just tell me everything. We're going to be here for 5 minutes, guys. And the whole queue behind was like, yeah, no problem, just tell the story quite loudly. They were like, yeah, we just want to hear the story as well. And it's things like that, like, and you know, I don't know if a lot of other people get to be in that position where they hear about random people's personal lives so in such high definition, like such detail, so frequently. And it's been absolutely the best thing that's ever happened to me. It's like my 100% best part of all of this has been that. So when it comes to like being famous, that's like, I think that's a gift, and I really, really like that. Now, I'd imagine if you're like, you know, Taylor Swift or whatever, and you have to have security guards around you all the time, and you're not allowed to interact with the public anymore,
That sucks.
for safety issues, then that's bad, and that's probably not something that I'm ever going to be interested in getting into. There's so many ants here.
Oh, fucking hell.
There's so many ants there.
Okay, skip that one.
Yeah, I'm not doing that one.
Don't do that one. Don't do that one. I'll do that one later.
Yeah.
When you were a kid, did you want to be a pop star?
Yes. Like, literally, it's the only thing I ever wanted to do. And I was very steadfast in it, and I told everyone that that's what I was going to do from the age of like 4. Like, I just always assumed it was going to happen, to be like a musician, that was my only thing that I did. But interestingly, I think when I was a kid, I didn't understand that songwriting was going to be such a big part of it. I think I just wanted to be famous because I wanted people to like me, which ultimately is the reason that anyone gets into this line of work.
I've got to say, I can relate.
Yeah, of course. Like, it's the only, like, you know, oh, were you a middle child? Did no one give you enough attention? Would you like to be an artist? You know, and I was a middle child, and I was widely ignored as a kid.
Yeah.
Which my mum even admits now. I was like, nah, well, you know, there was lots of yous. And well, there's a lot going on.
And tell us a bit about where you... Oh, okay, you pull up the potato
Oh!
first. Jackpot.
Check out this.
Jackpot.
That is what we call reparations. I love
hell.
it. Sorry, it's just so funny. It's just so funny.
No, I know.
Right.
Thank you.
Spud. Spud.
3. These ones are good. 4?
Yeah, 4. Just trying to see.
I want to eat these tiny ones, but...
I want to eat them tiny ones.
Yeah, they'd be nice like in a little salad or something.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, nice. So growing up, you wanted to be a pop star, but you didn't think about songwriting.
I don't think I ever... I think there was like two things with that. I think there was an element of like, when I was younger, somebody told me that Britney Spears didn't write her own music. And I was like, what do you mean? What does that even... I don't understand. What do you mean? I thought that's the only reason that you would possibly sing. But I think I was, like, from the stories that my mum tells now, like, I think I was writing songs from when I, like, started talking.
Really?
Like, I would always just be like, oh, I really don't want to go to school today because I hate school and it's terrible. Like, I would sing my feelings off the top of my head quite organically. And I learned how to play the guitar when I was like 11, 12. And then I kind of learned how to play like 5 chords and then never developed past that on guitar. Like, I'm not a very good guitar player. I never had any interest in the guitar. I just had interest in being able to play the guitar so I could sing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really just have wanted to do the same thing the whole time. And I've experienced a lot of people in the past 2 years doing an all-over rebrand, right, as an artist. And the rebrand is like suspiciously CMAT-esque, right? Friends and people we know and like all this kind of stuff. And we see people like doing this rebrand and being like, this is actually who I am. I was hiding who I was the whole time. But I have been exactly the same since I was a child. Like, there's pictures of me, videos, like I spoke this much when I was like 6. I talked all the time.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
I just talked all the fucking time. I was very interested in talking, and I was very interested in like celebrities and stuff.
What kind of music were you listening to when you were that age? Like when you were a nascent pop star, when you're like 5, 6, practicing in the room, like in front of your mirror.
Girls Aloud. I was obsessed with them. Samantha Mumba. Do you know who Samantha Mumba is?
I know Body to Body.
Yeah. She was like a pop star from Dublin, and I was like, oh, there's a pop star from Dublin. Great, I can also be pop star. Fabulous.
She was amazing.
She is amazing. She continues to be amazing. She also looks exactly the same.
Does she?
It's been 20 years. That bitch has not aged a day. She looks gorgeous. She's so lovely, so nice, and so talented. And
my friend told me, we were talking about Samantha Mumba, and we were talking about Body to Body, and he told me that it was used in a car advert. Like, to horrific effect. Yeah. So he can't listen to that song anymore. Yeah, it was used in like a road traffic safety ad for like teenagers and children, where there's like these 2 kids like kissing on a wall, and then you cross. And actually, sorry, the one with Samantha Mumba is there's all these teenagers and they're on their flip phones. Yeah. And they've probably been drinking and they're bad people. And they're in the car without a seatbelt on, or the one girl doesn't have a seatbelt on, and then like the song's body to body, and they crash into another car, and this girl just flies around the car without a seatbelt on, and her body is basically being used as like a bullet to like shoot all the other teenagers, and there's just like blood everywhere and teeth falling out and like, and then they die. Yeah. So everybody in Ireland kind of associates that song with that car crash ad. What's your relationship with Ireland like at the moment? Like, are you spending a lot of time there now? I haven't been there a lot this year, but I'm about to go back for like the month of most of July because my sister's about to have a baby. Right. So I'm going to go hang out there until she's annoyed by me. Yeah. And then and then I'll go somewhere else probably. Is it funny when you go, because you're from a relatively small town? Yeah, I'm from a village. Well, like we moved around a little bit. So the first place I would have lived was Dublin, and then when I was like 10, I moved to this village called Dunboyne in County Meath. Yeah. And so that's where I was a teenager, if you know what I mean. So that's where I kind of associate myself with the most. But we still consider ourselves Dubs, not from Meath. That's a very important distinction. And yeah, it's really, I like going back to Dunboyne. I'm very famous there. I'm very famous in Dunboyne. They have like a picture of me on the wall in the pub that I like to drink at the most, and I pretty much get free pints every single time I'm in that pub now, and I'm like, that's class. That's fantastic. I just like, it's class, like. And it's nice because I had a really difficult time growing up there because it was a very, very, very small place, and I have been the same since I was a child. So I used to speak like this but also dress
like I got pretty badly bullied for the first 2 years of being in school for like being a lesbian, which like I wasn't even at the time anything close to it because I was 12. And I also think that if you're weird, if you're a truly weird person, which I think I probably was and probably continue to be, there's nothing you can do. Like when I was in school, I remember there was a period of about a year where I desperately tried to fit in, like desperately. I like downloaded all of Chris Brown's music videos onto my iPod so that I could show them to people during lunchtime to be like, yeah, I like normal music like Chris Brown. And then by the next year I was just like, I've spent all my confirmation money on going to see Paul McCartney, it's fine. There's no point.
What's your writing process at the moment?
It's all over the place. It's generally it's like it starts off with a voice note, like I'll be in doing the dishes or having a shower, or like I'm generally doing some kind of menial labour. So gardening would be a good one, and that will usually be like 10 seconds long or 20 seconds long. And then eventually when I'm in like a writing room or a writing studio, I'll sit down, I'll have all these notes, like voice notes and stuff, and then I'll kind of like stretch them out from there. But I always use that kind of pure inspiration as like the first bit. So all of my songs, pretty much all of my good ones, have come from there, and all of my bad ones have come from me being like, it'd be a really good idea to have a song about being a woman. Do you know what I mean? Like the minute you try to do something impressive is the minute that you do something that is not impressive, I think.
What's your favourite song that you've written?
It's probably Cowboy. It's probably I Want to Be a Cowboy, Baby. Because the way, that was the first song I ever wrote that made me realise how to write a song. Because that was like, as you say, like I was in Manchester, I was very broke, I was very all over the place, I was not having a good time, and I think more importantly I was not writing any good music. And then a boyfriend that I had been with for like 5.5 years, like pretty much my entire adult life up to that point, we broke up and he left my flat, and it was the first time I'd probably been alone as an adult. Like I'd pretty much been with him my entire adult life. Like I had never been alone. I'd never gotten to spend any time. I was always with this guy. And he left and I was alone in the flat for 2 days. And so I was just at home and like staring at myself in the mirror, and I think I just like wrote Cowboy in like a very short period of time, in like a half an hour, 45 minutes or something. Like it all came out in one go. And then I was like, oh, that is what a song is supposed to be. Like that's where we're getting it from. This is what it is. I think you have to read a lot. I think you have to read a lot and like listen to a lot and like watch a lot and listen to a lot of people.
What are you reading and listening and watching at the moment? If you had to say one of each.
So I just yesterday finished another book by Banani Yoshimoto, who I think I've read the most of any author. Like I think I've read all of her back catalogue now. Pretty much. Maybe I'm missing the one about the manuscript, but there's this Japanese writer called Banani Yoshimoto. What's even the name of the book I was reading yesterday? Oh, The Premonition. The Premonition was the last book I read. Japanese writer, obsessed with her. The first book I read by her was Kitchen, which is very famous.
Okay, I've never even heard of her.
Kitchen is amazing. Kitchen, and her books are really short, which I like.
Yeah,
it's like a real like.
Yeah.
So yeah, Banani Yoshimoto. Watching, I mean, I just was waxing lyrical too about it beforehand. I've seen La Chimera twice in the cinema now. I think that's the best film I've ever seen. I just think it's the best film I've ever seen.
I can't wait to see it.
I just think it's the best film I've ever seen.
Someone I knew fell asleep in it.
Asshole.
I think they were.
Asshole.
I think they were really jet lagged.
Have You No Soul? Like that is one of the most affecting pieces of cinema I've ever seen. And the director, Alice Rohrwacher, I'm definitely butchering her name, but the director of La Chimera, she made this other film about these two little girls. I can't remember the name of it now, but I remember watching that on like Mubi ages ago and being like, damn, that's a great film. Like that's a very good, I remember being like, that's almost a perfect film. And then La Chimera, I was like, that's a perfect film. That's a perfect film.
Okay, that's amazing.
I didn't think the Italians had it in them, I'll be honest, but there you go. They got it. They still got it.
And what about what you're listening to?
I really need to see Kim Gordon because I'm obsessed. She's got a record out this year, last year, end of last year? It was this year, called The Collective, that I just love. And recently enough, I was at a festival. My my friend was playing the festival and I just went over for the crack, like I wasn't playing.
Yeah.
But we were all sitting having breakfast, and then she walked in, like Kim Gordon walked in and had breakfast at like a table over there, and I literally spent the entirety of my breakfast watching her eat breakfast, and she had fucking sunglasses on the whole time. It was so cute. She was so cool. I was like, I love you, because I love Sonic Youth and stuff as well, and like, yeah.
That record, her new one is amazing.
Yes,
It's crazy.
It's amazing.
Yeah, she killed it.
And she wrote that, or she edited a book with a friend of mine. There's a writer from Ireland called Sinead Gleeson.
Oh yeah.
And Kim and Sinead, I think during COVID, like edited a compilation of essays about women and music. Women in music, my favourite topic, but it's really good. It's really, really, really good. And Enright wrote an essay about Laurie Anderson, which, if you know me personally, that's like a... That kind of confluence of things is like crazy. It's so good.
Oh, sick.
It's
okay,
so
good tip.
Yeah, you should read that. I think it's called This Woman's Work, after the Kate Bush song.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, good tip. Okay, and I have another question for you, which you don't have to answer honestly. You can give me a fake answer. I want to know, what's the best like celebrity encounter you've had?
Oh my God.
You made me think about it with the Kim Gordon thing.
So, the interesting thing about becoming a semi-famous person is that you are exposed to a lot more celebrities in their natural habitat. And for most other people who become semi-famous, they do this thing of just being like, yeah, you know, they're people. I feel like I know a lot of people who just pretend to not be excited by that anymore, and that's just not me. I am obsessed with celebrities. I'm obsessed with celebrity culture. I absolutely love it. Probably one of the best things that ever fucking happened to me was I do be bougie bitch sometimes, and when I'm in LA, I have to, if I'm there for a week, I'll only spend one night there, but I have to stay in the Chateau Marmont. I just have to do it.
Good. Okay, I'm pleased. This is, if I was famous, if I was a famous celebrity, if I was a pop star, I would be doing the same thing.
I have to do it. Like, I can't not do it, because every time I go there, something amazing happens. And like, the staff are amazing, the vibes are amazing. It's amazing. It's an amazing place. It's just as good as people say it is.
Really?
For me, celebrity watcher and person who's interested in like history and the lives of people. And Graham Parsons shot his album artwork there, and I love it. I love it. The first time I ever went there was with my boyfriend Willie, who plays bass in my band, and we had been there for like 2 days, having a wonderful time. And it was the last day, and we had checked out, and then we were having drinks in the patio before we were going to like the comedy club. And we had literally just been joking about how we're the only people that have ever gone to the Chateau and not seen like an incredibly famous person. But we were having a great time anyway, so we were like, drinking our champers. And I look up from where I'm sitting up to the descending staircase that comes in into the patio, and I was like, that's fucking Diana Ross. That is Diana Ross. Like, that is Diana Ross. And I'm like staring at her with my mouth open, and she's got a 3-piece linen suit. She's got like a mask on, like a face mask on for COVID reasons, that has like white, like silky, like tails, like bows or whatever on the side. And she's linked arm in arm with the beefiest, handsomest, youngest man I've ever seen in my life. It was so amazing. And her hair was her hair, and she walked like Diana Ross. And I was just like, the mask is not fooling anyone, love. Like, you've got the Diana Ross hair on. And I'm watching her, and I'm like, there's no fucking way. And then me and Willie start having this conversation, which is like, oysters, so good, yes, and the champagne, can't wait to see Mark Maron later on tonight, But the whole time I'm like texting my sisters being like, Diana Ross. And they're like, there's no way. And then like literally 10 minutes later, Tracy Ellis Ross, who at that time had a broken leg, was in a cast, was like hopping down the stairs, was like, hi mom. And I was like, oh my God, this could not get any better. Like, there's no way this could possibly get any better. And then, and this is quite an embarrassing thing to admit, and I think I've spoken about this before, but the next person to walk down the stairs, there was a birthday party, I believe it was Diana Ross's son. The next person to walk down the stairs was Ashlee Simpson.
Ooh.
Which, if you are a woman of a certain age, which is my age, 28, you understand the significance of that.
Pieces of Me is my karaoke song.
On a Monday, I'm waiting. On a Tuesday. Like, she just walks down the stairs, and I was actually more starstruck by her than I was by Diana Ross. I was like, holy shit, I know everything about your life because I watched you religiously, your reality television show, Autobiography. Was it Pieces of Me or was it Autobiography? I think the show was called Autobiography.
Autobiography.
Right?
Did you say hi?
No, of course I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't need to. And you know, in the chateau, it's kind of thing of like,
It's not on.
no, you want people to like enjoy themselves and like feel like they're not being nagged and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, let's get this last one up. I have to say, overall, I'm feeling pretty disappointed with the
Yeah.
yield.
Yeah, but you know
It wasn't
what?
great, was it?
But you know what? You've got to suffer to find joy. Do you know what I mean?
I think probably we can leave it there.
Yeah.
It's done. CMAT, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.